Chris here. How's everybody doing? Everybody have a good Mother's Day weekend. Get to spend time with the family, whatever it did. I think Chris was he had a busy day. He was doing some stuff too.
I did some stuff. I was being the mother to the dogs at home. I'm dad and mom to the pups, so I had my Mother's Day hanging out with them.
Barney and Luna.
That's right, Barney and
tell
Luna.
them
We're gonna bring them on here one day. Let you guys see them. They're cute little dogs.
If we brought Star up here, it'd be chaotic. She loves Chris, and my dog, she's a whole nother level.
Oh, the episode 1 at the very end. If you haven't saw that, you get to see Star come in here and lose her mind.
Oh, she does.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good looking pit bull.
Yeah, Star's crazy. But good way to start the week off. We wanted to do stay kind of doing top 10s like we were. We're going to do some comedian. Hey, Shali, we're going to talk about the top 10 comedians. But instead of us each making our own list, we're going to like nominate a bunch of people. We're going to nominate a bunch of people, like different comedians, and then we're going to narrow it down to the top 10 and try to get it down to a number 1 without it taking till tonight. I have an appointment. I have to be at 6:30, so but it'll take a little while to get this. There's a lot of funny comedians out there. Everybody's opinion is going to be a little different, but we're going to see if we can narrow it down to like the GOAT comedian, the all-time funniest of all time, funniest of the funny.
All right. Well,
So it should be interesting. Like so, right off, who's your favorite comedian, Chris?
My favorite for me is Jerry Seinfeld. If you watch interviews with other comedians, everybody says that Jerry's the best. And he was even Chris Rock. He was like, man, he's like, Jerry was the first one out of the group of us that got a nice car. Because he was the first one to start making it. He had a Saab that he was driving to the comedy clubs.
I mean, I never thought Seinfeld stand-up stuff was that funny. Like, he was funny, but not as funny as other people. Yeah. But I have heard a lot of other comedians refer to Jerry Seinfeld as being really, really good.
Yeah, dude. Sinbad.
No. No, Sinbad is probably not going to make the list.
You didn't like Sinbad?
I don't remember him being funny. No.
He was like, his early stuff I thought was pretty good. You know, back in the 80s, that he had a couple of specials on, HBO or something.
Man,
pretty good.
You're going to send me down a Mandela thing. Didn't he do like a movie where he was a genie? And did Shaq do a movie where he was one too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's something like with
Shazam?
Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
No.
Huh?
No, I don't.
Oh, we'll have to do a whole show about that. The Mandela effect.
Right.
So the Mandela effect is basically the concept of that we live in parallel universes.
Okay.
And sometimes you're in this one or sometimes you're in that one. And you'll see something like the FedEx sign. Does it have a dash in it or not?
No.
FedEx sign.
Okay, I found this on the web for FedEx.
Let's see. Does FedEx have a dash?
No, it does not.
All right.
But there's other stuff. Gosh, man, I can't believe you don't know about the Mandela effect stuff. It's actually kind of like some of the videos are pretty trippy. The Bernstein Bears.
Uh-huh.
The way it's spelled, everybody remembers it as Bernstein, but it's actually Bernstein is one of them.
Huh.
What far like life is like a box of chocolates or something. I mean, you have to go watch a video.
All right, I will.
You'll definitely be like, oh, I didn't know.
I will.
Yeah, like you done got me all messed up. I'm on a Mandela. I'm in the Mandela effect. I don't know what parallel universe I'm in now, Chris. So, all like favorite comedians all time, man. I could spit off name after name. Like you have to put, especially if you're doing a top 10. I would say you have to throw Eddie Murphy's name out there.
Mm-hmm.
Who is inspired by Richard Pryor.
Yep.
Who is inspired by Red Fox.
Red Fox, yep.
Like that's pretty and God, I know Chris is a big fan of George Carlin.
Oh yeah, George Carlin, one of the best.
We'll definitely have to name him. So now, once we get all these, we're gonna get a bunch of them. Now we gotta narrow this down to the best ones, and this is already gonna be really hard. I think one of the best skit, probably no, not one of the best skit TV show ever. Better than anything Saturday Night Live did, and they had some really talented people on Saturday Night Live back in the day.
Oh yeah.
But Chappelle Show.
Oh yeah.
The Chappelle Show skits, like if you guys are familiar with Chappelle Show, I can sit and name off like the black blind white supremacist, the the World Series of Dice, the racial draft, trading spouses, where they do the interracial version of it is freaking hilarious.
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, the beer, the Samuel L. Jackson beer, like that. It's Bill Burr's like, why are you yelling? He's doing a commercial for his beer, his Samuel L. Jackson beer, and it's Dave Chappelle. And he's like, why are you yelling? And he's like, because that's the way I talk, motherfucker. Have you not seen my movies? It's good beer. It gets you drunk. You might even fight. Man, there's just so many. The Charlie Murphy stories with Prince,
where he got Oprah pregnant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like he comes to work and quits. He's like, Oprah, I love you.
Oh yeah. Those are awesome.
That was the best. Yeah.
Another one to put down on there is Norm Macdonald. He's one of my absolute favorites. Do I think he's the best? No, but he's definitely one of my favorites.
Norm. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to know what TV show was Norm Macdonald on.
And I don't know. We have to look it up.
We couldn't remember.
He's been on a lot of stuff.
What TV show was Norm Macdonald on? Man.
Let's see. He had the Norm Show, and he was on SNL.
Oh, he had his own TV show then.
Yeah, and then he's got some specials. A lot of SNL stuff.
Well, he did the show with Wayne Brady and all of them, right? Like
no,
with the improv.
No, he wasn't on there.
With
Whose
her,
line is it anyways?
Yeah, with her from 2.5 Men. The dad. That
was the later episodes with him in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. Good
so
show.
Norm Macdonald. We talked about like Sam. Like I don't know if he'll end up making it, but Sam Kinison was really funny. I remember the first time I seen him. Like I was a kid, and he was. It was. And he was at Rodney Dangerfield, the king of the one-liners.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's other people that are really good, but Rodney Dangerfield could sit you down. I mean, I don't know if you've ever watched him, like when he would on be on Johnny Carson, and he could go so much longer than that, but he would, like in the comedy, like as far as doing stand-up and jokes, he was a literal like killer. Like he was so good because he's the kind of comedian that he'd start telling the jokes and you wouldn't even he's watching you, and as soon as you start to catch your breath, he smashes you with another one, and you like he's that kind of guy, right? Like mad respect for Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh yeah. I went to fight the other night, and the hockey game broke out. That's Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, he probably did. He probably was the first one to say that.
He's got. I mean, dude, I'm scrolling on Google. He's got so many one-liners. He had to be.
I quit smoking after sex. Me and my wife decided we were going to quit smoking unless we had sex. I quit. She's at 2 packs a day, or something like. He's the best.
Yeah,
he's the. I can't remember. There's another old comedian. I can't remember who it is from way back. But and this is somebody I saw when I was a kid, Red Skelton. And when I was a kid, he was really old when I seen him, and I didn't.
Who did y'all see? I was asking who y'all see.
But I saw Red Skelton, and I remember walking out, and my dad asked me, he's like, "What'd you think?" And I was like, "It's funny, but I've every joke that I just seen him do, I've heard before. Even I was like 9 years old. I was like, I've heard all those jokes." And he's like, "Well, he's the one that started those jokes." And then I was like, so all these jokes I've heard, and I can't remember none of them now. I used to know so many jokes when I was young, like I just don't remember them. I know funny stuff to talk about, but I don't know jokes. Like, so a guy walks into a bar, like I just don't remember a lot of those.
I'm not good at those either.
Like that's different. There's some funny ones online. You can go read. We might have to do that sometime. We'll go read some jokes.
Yeah, the number one Rodney Dangerfield, I just saw it by Gregory on here, was I Get No Respect. that was one of his best ones, man. That was
anyway. I got no respect.
But are you a Dave Attell fan?
Who?
Okay, obviously not. Dave Attell.
I know the name.
He did like that midnight show. He had a show that came on at midnight. I think it was midnight back in like the late 90s, maybe. Like Late Night with Attell or something like that.
He's not going to be in the top 10, right?
No, yeah, obviously not.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't.
Now,
maybe he's hilarious.
I'll give you a semi. He's not new, but he's new to me. And he will be in my top on here, even if he's number 10, is Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah, he is hilarious, man.
Oh my goodness, there's so many people.
Yeah,
so Cat Williams.
Yeah, his early stuff was good, man. I didn't stay with Cat.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to give Pawpaw the job, and now y'all want him to do 14 interviews. He's funny. Cat Williams is hilarious.
I just saw Tina put up. There are some good female ones out there. Oh man, there's some really good ones. There's some that I don't know their names that I see reels of all the time, but I don't ever remember their names. Oh man,
I know Nikki Glazer's thought of as being funny, but she's not. I would probably look at somebody from the Saturday Night Live cast back in the day. Even we have to pick some girls. I don't mean it in a bad way, but what if some of the other names
Wanda Sykes. She's
I'm gonna put Bernie Mac.
Yeah, Bernie Mac's a good one. Wanda Sykes is hilarious. She was back in the day.
I like Wanda Sykes. She'd be on Chappelle's show sometimes, I think.
Yeah, and this list, I pulled up a list so we could kind of go off some of the stuff here. Now, I've never seen her stand up, but on SNL, Maya Rudolph, she has to be one of the best ones, man. She was absolutely hilarious.
Maya Rudolph?
Yeah, Maya Rudolph. And, I'm not a fan of her, but there's a bunch of people that obviously like her. Would be Amy Schumer. I don't like her.
I don't either. I'm not a fan. We'll write her down here for some reason. I don't know why we even put her name. She's not making the top 10. Who is that? Robin Williams. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
He's a home run hitter right there.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the all-time greats. His old stuff back whenever he was very hyper, that was some crazy stuff, man. He'd go in between those characters.
Chris Rock. All-timer.
And I tell you, Jamie Foxx said that whenever he was doing stand-up and Chris Tucker came along, he said that Chris Tucker was one of the best at stand-up. Mitch Hedberg. My fake plants died because I forgot to pretend to water them.
Who's that, Mitch?
Mitch Hedberg. Hedberg?
I've heard that name.
I have too.
I don't know who it is.
What's the guy's name that comes out with his shirt off?
Bruce something Griner.
That guy's pretty funny.
Man, what is his name? Oh gosh.
Oh,
John Cryer.
The guy who does
something like that.
The guy who's on all the roasts, the Comedy Central roast. He's bald headed now.
Jeff something.
Yes, that guy, Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross. Yeah, he's funny.
Dude, that guy is hilarious, man. Yeah, that's him, Jeff Ross. I mean, you got like Bill Burr. He's we haven't put him down.
Bill Burr, to me, is a really similar style, different but very similar. He's a ranter.
Yeah.
And George Carlin was also. That's their comedy style. They rant. They bitch about stuff.
What about Louis C.K.?
Bill Burr may be better than George Carlin. Because he does podcasts like George Carlin did shows, but
man,
Bill Burr does a podcast without planning. He don't plan nothing. He don't talk to nobody. He gets up in the morning, has his coffee, turns his lights on, his camera, and goes for an hour.
That's a good one. The Wayans brothers.
And yeah, okay. And he goes for an hour and a half just fussing about random stuff, and it's just hilarious. Like, he's good.
He is. And again, Louis C.K. I like him. You don't like him?
The Wayans brothers. Yeah, we put Louis C.K. on there for a contender. The Wayans brothers. I'll be honest with you. If it wasn't for Major Payne, the movie Major Payne, they wouldn't be as funny as they are.
Come on, man. What about what about wasn't it one of the Wayans brothers that was in Don't Be a Menace to South Central?
That was pretty funny. What was the Blank Man?
Dude, that was stupid.
Blank Man was pretty funny. Hey, Blank Man got the girl at the end.
Well, I mean,
Who was the girl?
Payne.
Wasn't it Robin Givens or somebody?
I don't remember.
Ended up being his girlfriend.
I don't remember.
I remember they had a real pretty girl that he ended up. Remember, she kissed him and he was like, Blank Man lost it. But okay, so there's man, I know there's people we're missing here. I don't want to look back in like an hour and go, oh man, I forgot about like.
I mean, one that we're probably not going to put on the list, and I don't know if you even want to mention him or not, but he was one of the greats before he had some controversy. Bill Cosby.
Oh, yeah, like
dude, the Jell-O pudding.
He's a terrible human being, but clearly, if that's true, if this stuff's true, and I don't know, like I didn't pay that much attention to it. He got convicted, so I'll assume that he is.
Yeah.
I heard too many people say that it wasn't a secret. So bad guy, but funny. Like, man, just talking about regular, like dealing with your kids stuff. Like, man, he was Bill Cosby. It was called Himself. That was one of the best stand-up specials there, where he's sitting down.
Absolutely, absolutely. Another woman on here that I thought of, and this is controversial. Not everybody likes her at all. Man, it's going to be Roseanne.
Yeah. Oh, Roseanne's funny.
And I personally have seen Tom Arnold. He is a fantastic stand-up guy. He probably doesn't get the what's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't recognition that he deserves. But he was really, really funny, man. He talks about in his stand-up that I saw anyways. It wasn't all about Roseanne, but he did have a little skit in there about Roseanne stabbing him. And he was like, look this up on the internet. He's like, this stuff's real. It was whenever like the Snackwell's cookies came out or something like that. And he ate like a whole box of them. And Roseanne got mad that she didn't have any. So she went in the kitchen, grabbed a knife and stabbed him. Cops came out there and arrested her. So Hannah says that they like Eddie Murphy. Yeah, he's going to be in the top for sure. What was his first one? Eddie Murphy's?
The first, Delirious was the first HBO special he had. I was probably sixth grade. That's the one where he makes fun of Mr. T and stuff, and like, wow, like politically correct, it is not. Wow, Eddie Murphy probably was like I know I did really good off of that, but that stuff can just go away now.
Yeah.
He, the opening thing, he is like going after the homosexual people, like. Talk about he has to figure out what section it is, but that's not the words that he uses.
Yeah, no. Oh, dude, Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh yeah. I don't know if he's all-time top 10, but he's really funny. Ron White.
Yeah.
Where he's sitting beside the guy on the little plane, and the pilot should have just turned around, but he tells him over the speaker that they only have one engine, and the guy's like, how far do you think you're going to make it? To the scene of the crash.
That's right. That's a real good one. I never saw her, but, another woman is Joan Rivers. They said she was really good for stand-up. I don't know if she needs to be on the list or not.
There's a lot of actors. Like, imagine if, I would imagine that way back in the day, did somebody like Dan Aykroyd or, who's John Candy or somebody like that would have been Chris Farley. Did Chris Farley do stand up?
I don't know if he did stand up. I think he was just like a skit guy. I don't recall seeing any of his.
I didn't know
any of his stuff.
Did we put somebody that over the last 10 years he's not around anymore, but don't think I have one. Ralphie May.
Oh man, yes. I'm
Man,
glad you
Ralphie
brought that
Ralphie
one
May
up.
is hilarious.
Yeah, he's gonna make the top 10. He is.
He was funny.
He really was. He was really good.
Very, 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 very funny.
But I'm sure there's other ones that we're leaving out.
Well, let's see.
We got a bunch.
Like on the blue collar tour, like those guys, like Larry the Cable Guy and those guys, man, they're funny, but they're not as funny as Ron White. They're like, we're running out of paper. I could flip to another page, but like I just don't think they're gonna make the top 10 of all time. Like I just don't see it.
So look, for what we have on there now, who's gonna make number 10 out of those?
Oh, I have no idea. Like,
True.
Well, really, probably the best thing to do is like starting crossing off ones that, like, all right, you're probably not a top tenner, and go from there.
Yeah, Ralphie's going to be on the list. You can be for sure.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Recent comedians.
What's that other case? Something that other guy. Something
like
black.
I wouldn't put like who's the guy? Zane Cook. Dan Cook.
Yeah.
Man, like I know he was doing some big tour. He did a big tour.
He did.
He did that circle in the middle of
that was the best one. That's the only one that I remember out of his stuff.
I think I watched it, but I just didn't think it was that funny.
Jack Black, does he do stand up? Jack Black. I know he's funny in his movies for sure, and his music thing. 'Cause that's like Adam Sandler. He does stand up, but it's more of a music thing.
Yeah.
It's not really. It's not full on stand up.
I've never really heard him tell jokes. I've just heard him sing songs. Like he's got a Christmas one, I think.
Oh yeah,
Or
Hanukkah. Yeah, the Hanukkah. That's his big one.
There's a Hanukkah song.
Yeah.
Comedians, funny, all timers.
There's some newer ones that I can't think of the names. I'm gonna have to look some up because there's like an Asian guy that does it. And he's really funny. Hold on, I'll find out who it is.
Man, I know he's not going to make the top 10, but if you've never watched, he passed away like 3 or 4 years ago. But if you never watched Charlie Murphy, Eddie Murphy's brother, do stand up, like I don't know why Charlie wasn't doing stand up way back in the day when Eddie was doing it, because Charlie Murphy was hilarious.
Yeah, they said Kevin Hart and Steve-O. Yeah, we
have Kevin Hart.
Pete's probably gonna hit on some Kevin Hart bashing. He's not a big fan.
All right.
Here's one. Aziz Ansari. You know who he is? Man, he's from Columbia, South Carolina. That's him right there. He's really, really funny, man. He's an Indian guy that's from Columbia, South Carolina, and he talks about it in his skits sometimes, what it's like growing up in Columbia.
So, I'm a big numbers person. I believe in numbers.
All right.
Look up the top 10 wealthiest stand-up comedians.
All right.
That way we'll know we'll know if we're missing anybody from the list.
All right. The number one's Jerry Seinfeld, Kevin, Ellen DeGeneres, Adam Sandler, Leno.
I remember Ellen stand-up. I don't think she's top 10 all-time funny.
This popped up.
She just had a TV personality, I believe.
Yeah, that's just the richest ones. You know, Leno's
does
on there.
Does Ellen still have a show?
Who?
Does Ellen still have a TV
show?
No.
I think she got accused of like being rough with some of the workers, like not being good to the workers. So she kind of shut down shop over there.
She's like 5'4" and 120 pounds.
Yeah, but she's super rich though. She probably get done whatever she's wanting to get done.
Did Ellen get canceled?
Yes, I'm telling you, she did. She did. I feel like that it was a one of the like women workers there that she was rude. She was rude to him and like
I
really
don't know
mean
where
to
I
him.
seen it. I don't know. I mean, it was a note, like it was public. I don't know if it was on a tweet or something where she called Diddy Huggy Bear or something. Her Lovey Bear or something. It was something. I was like, ooh, hey. Like, I didn't really ever mess with Ellen anyway, but I definitely won't. That's my thing. If you're on the Diddy list, and they did something bad that took people against their will and intoxicated them with something, like I won't listen to those people's music. I won't watch their movies or people in entertainment. I will not mess with them anymore.
They're only going to hit it for a second, but they did get their jurors selected, I think, for the Diddy stuff. So that all that stuff's going to be coming along. We definitely have Chris Rock on that list. He's got to be top 10. But But anyways, the Diddy stuff, we'll be talking a little bit about that throughout some more episodes whenever stuff starts to come out. But we're mainly just concerned about the people that were there, if they did anything that was, wrong. Now, not it's got to be like, wrong. If they're just a freak and did some freaky stuff, hey,
if it was
teach their own.
consensual, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, but if it wasn't and they had to do, things to get people to do stuff, then, like we said, those are going to be people that we'll probably never listen to again and probably won't talk about them either.
Like there might be people's music and stuff that I really like that I won't be able to mess with.
Yeah, but anyways, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
All right.
So who else? Was there anybody else significant on the top 10 list that we don't have?
I tell you, both of the late night guys were on there. David Letterman and Jay Leno. Because they did stand up before they hit that.
I know, and they had to be funny to get those jobs, but I don't know.
Not your thing?
I mean, yeah, but no, like
Larry David's on there. See, a lot of these people.
You talking about? Is that the guy that helps Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah.
The Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
That dude gets on my nerves.
Man.
I don't know why, I just don't think he's funny.
Man.
I did not think that show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, it used to come on either before or after The Sopranos.
Yeah.
On HBO. And
I'm in the first season. I have been watching that a little bit. It's pretty funny. It has some improv in there. And that might be why it seems weird.
I don't know if you guys have watched it. If you haven't, you need to. It's Netflix. Go to season 1, episode 1, and start. Chris has never watched Trailer Park Boys.
I haven't.
There's so much to talk about if he watches a Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start watching it. We'll have to talk about.
That is one of the best TV shows ever.
Well, I'll have to go and watch because we do.
You have to like some kind of stupid kind of comedy, but once you get to know the characters and follow them, with the roles they play in it, it's a great TV show.
Yeah.
And they film it sometimes like it's a documentary. If you guys watch the Trailer Park Boys, like Ricky and Julian and Bubbles and Mr. Leahy and the gang.
And Kevin Hart is in the top richest comedians.
I'm sure because of the movies.
I've never seen Seth MacFarlane in any stand up. I know he's good in the movies.
I remember him doing. He was pretty kind of dry,
Dan Aykroyd.
I said I wonder if he's funny when I was naming the movie people. What about oh man, Louis Anderson was funny. I remember him doing stand up before he was on Family Feud, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't. He's not a top 10.
Don Rickles.
Man, yeah. That's how Bill Burr got famous, because of Don Rickles.
Is it really?
It was at a comedy festival. You can go listen to it in Philly, and they were outdoor. Don Rickles was on stage, and the rude Philly fans, if you're in Philly, sorry if you're watching this, booed Don Rickles off stage.
Really?
And Bill Burr was following him. And you can go, it's on YouTube, and he 10 minutes or whatever he does, he don't do none of his act. He goes up there, and if there's anything bad you can say about Philadelphia, he says it. And he's watching the clock going 7 more minutes.
Bill Burr?
And he's like you broke Bell having. He's like, you guys worship a statue that's not even real, the Rocky statue. He goes with your Harold Carmichael wearing jerseys. Because this was back before Philly ever won a Super Bowl. Really. Yeah. He's like, I hope that Philly never wins a Super Bowl. He said some really mean things, like, I hope all of you are not around anymore, but that's not how he said it.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's like, 5 more minutes. And they're booing him at first, and by the end, they're actually laughing along with him. And Bob Saget.
That's what I was just thinking, Bob Saget.
Bob Saget had to follow him, and Bill Burr walks off the stage and was like, well, this is probably ruined my career. And Bob Saget's going, No, your career just started,
That's
and I
nice.
have to follow that. But Bob Saget, I don't know if you guys ever seen Bob Saget. Like, to my kids' days, I've probably seen a couple episodes of Full House
Yeah.
with Uncle Jesse and
Yeah.
all of them. John Stamos has got that good hair.
Man, there ain't a woman alive that doesn't like John Stamos.
Huh? No. Nah. But anyway, I better looking at John Stamos.
Oh my God.
Ladies, leave a comment. Who's better looking, Pete or John Stamos?
Oh man, Pete, you gonna get your feelings hurt
No,
here.
I'm not. I'm gonna get some votes.
Tina, go ahead, give it to us.
I'm gonna get some votes.
All right, but Bob Saget was a good one there, though.
He was. But his stand up is not what you, like. The first time I seen him do stand up, like I don't know, like 45 seconds into it, I was expecting,
Danny Tanner.
yeah, like even a rougher version of him would like. Oh no. He goes as far outside away from that character. Like he was making jokes about the kids on the show.
Oh yeah, hardcore jokes.
Yeah, like I'm not like it's like. Oh, I mean,
That's jaw dropping.
times have changed. That like he couldn't get away with doing those jokes now.
Unfortunately, not.
No. And I mean, and I don't know, like times have changed, society's changed. Maybe those jokes are not as funny, but it was really unexpected.
I said that she loves John Stamos. I bet you do.
What? Who said that?
Hannah. I don't blame you. You know, I'm good enough with my sexuality to say that John Stamos is very good looking.
Can you name all? Huh?
I said I am good enough with my sexuality to tell you that John Stamos is a good looking man. Hey, any of these women that are watching this that leave a comment, I guarantee you that every single one of them are going to say that they love Stamos.
He's a little guy. He's a little guy.
He was a little guy. Said that he.
Joe, that's Dave Portier or something.
Dave Coulier.
Dave Coulier. He's actually really sick.
I think that he actually put up a thing. I think that he's beaten his cancer.
Oh, really?
So yeah, congratulations to him.
Can you name all the people on the show by name?
Not by name. I used to watch it whenever I was young, but Full House wasn't never my favorite, man. It's a little serious.
Joey and Uncle Jesse.
Yeah.
And Danny Tanner was the dad.
Yeah.
DJ, the oldest girl. What was the middle girl? The little smart. She was a little smart aleck.
That's Jodie Sweetin is her real name.
Oh man, what was her name?
I can't remember.
And then Michelle was the Olsen twins.
Yeah. And then the neighbor, what was her name?
Kimmy Gibbler.
No, yep.
Bob Saget really said some not cool things about Kimmy Gibbler.
He said, tell him, watch out, John, Chris is going to be the big spoon. Or the other way around. Stephanie.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Full House fans.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Hey, I named like 6 out of 7.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
All right, so I think we have. I don't think we've overlooked anybody of the all-timers. I'm sure there's somebody that we've probably forgotten, but
yeah,
I mean, like, I'm sure Bill Murray was funny back in the day.
Yeah, he's one.
Like Andrew Dice Clay's funny, but he's not top 10.
Yeah,
I mean, he's hilarious. Like, to be in the top 10, that's very elite. Like when I think of top 10, like they have like their stand-ups when they actually do a performance and put it out there. That's kind of what I judge my stuff on.
all right.
And I've watched pretty much everybody we've named. I've watched their stand-up.
Yeah, those are good.
At least all these people.
It's gonna be hard to cut.
Jerry Seinfeld, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, Norm Macdonald, Sam Kinison, Rodney Dangerfield, Red Skelton, Shane Gillis, Cat Williams, Bernie Mac, Wanda Sykes, Maya Rudolph, Amy Schumer, Robin Williams, Chris Rock, Jeff Ross, Bob Saget, Joanne, who's that? I can't read more right now.
Joan Rivers.
Oh yeah, duh. Joanne. What do you right there, dude? Ron White, Jeff Foxworthy, Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
Man, her TV show that she based on her comedy was a all time like one of the. It was got to be in the top 20 TV shows of all time.
Oh yeah, and for the average person too. They were an average family. Dan the Man was a drama.
We don't
lord.
condone any of his actions, but before, when he was still funny, Bill Cosby, when he was just a funny guy, Louis C.K., the Wayans brothers, and Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Like I still like. There was just their movies were funny. I don't know if their stand up. I thought In Living Color was funny. I thought it was a funny show, even with Jim Carrey. Oh, Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's funny doing stand up.
Yeah.
But I thought In Living Color was funny until Chappelle Show come along. And it's not like just not even in the same ballpark.
Well, speaking of that, it's not on here. It's Martin.
Oh, Martin Lawrence.
Yep, he's got to be on there, man. And I can think the one that we can go ahead and cut out on there right now. Let's go ahead and mark those Wayans brothers off.
Okay.
Yep, we're getting rid of Wayans brothers. They're good, but as far as stand up, maybe not the greatest of all times.
They're fun. I know they're funny. I'm sure, but yeah, they're not. They're not in the top 10.
Now, a greatest for all time. I think that we should. What do you think about cutting out Red Fox on there? I think he's real good.
Ooh, man.
And he's one of the greats, but we got to do a top 10. And we can't you can't keep all of the old legends. Some of them are going to have to go, because if not, the whole page is going to be filled up with the old legends. And you got to add some other people in. Are you willing to cut Red Fox?
Yeah, but
what do y'all think?
If Red Fox has got to go, Amy Schumer's definitely got to go.
I'm fine with
He's
it.
funnier than her.
I'm fine with Amy Schumer going. Let's go ahead and take her off.
I mean, as I look at this list, before I draw it, like, is he like who on there? He's funnier than people on this list. I think. Like,
who was on the Queens of Comedy? I can't remember those women.
oh, like, is Red Fox? Okay, who would you take out of Red Fox and Louis C.K.?
Ooh, man. Man, that's tough. Here's my Louis C.K. thoughts here. I think that we have to choose one between Louis C.K. and Bill Burr.
Oh, Bill Burr.
All right, then let's mark out Louis C.K. and we'll keep Red Fox.
We're gonna keep Red Fox. I'm just like we're kind of, if Red Fox has got to go, he's like the litmus test. Can you beat Red Fox?
All right.
So, like right off the top, I would say like Rodney Dangerfield's that's going to keep him in there. Like just because the amount of jokes, Red Skelton has to stay in there temporarily.
All right.
The Shane Gillis dude, I mean,
he's funny, man.
funnier than Red Fox.
Shane Gillis is pretty funny, man. Let's hold off on marking him off yet. Who else we got to put him up against?
And the only thing I've ever seen Jeff Ross do is a roast, and they do a lot of writing for them on that.
Yeah. All right. You can take Jeff Ross off, but he's a good.
He's not funny. Like I've seen Red Fox do a roast back in the day. Also, like Red Fox is funny.
Oh, I know he is. He's got some classic stuff too.
He's his language is something, but sometimes that's part of with what comedians do. Oh, this is going to be so hard to narrow this down.
Yeah, I mean,
But the reason that I'm not going to put Kevin Hart up there, and I know even Chappelle has spoke highly of his stand up, and I can't believe that other comedians have not. Even when Cat Williams went in him, he really went off about Kevin Hart on the Shannon Sharp podcast when he talked about everybody. And like I was watching a Kevin Hart stand up, just not a couple months ago on Netflix. It's a couple years old at least, and something he said, the tone of his voice, I was like, man, it sounded like Bernie Mac for a second, and then I was like, wait a minute. I rewinded just a little bit, and I re-listened to the joke, and I was like, man, I know why he sounded like Bernie Mac. It's a Bernie Mac joke.
Yeah.
And I mean, he changed it. Like, and then I listened to it again. I even went and watched an old Bernie Mac, and I was like, man, most of the couple stand-ups of Kevin Hart that I've watched, he's taken Bernie Mac jokes and he's changing the characters and the situation or the context. He's able to manipulate it to where I'm surprised that comedians will call comedians out for stealing material and being that successful with it, especially off of somebody like Bernie Mac. Wow, he was he was one of the kings of comedy tour.
Yeah, there's a video that's out there that somebody, the debunking of Kevin Hart doing a Bernie Mac joke, like he got caught doing a Bernie Mac joke at a show, and there's a video out there.
I've never seen anything, but it was my own observation. I was like, man, that's Bernie Mac stuff.
Yeah, somebody else thought so too.
I was like, that's Bernie Mac jokes, bro. I was like, you just changing it up a little bit. Yeah. Kevin Hart's really funny. Like I would go see a Kevin Hart show, but I don't think he's going to make the top 10. Like I would put Ralphie May ahead of him, Jerry Seinfeld, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. I'd probably put Red Fox ahead of Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle definitely, Rodney Dangerfield 100%, Cat Williams yes, Bernie Mac himself, like Robin Williams. See, like Chris Rock, is he really going to be able to stay in the top 10?
I tell you who I'm not sure is going to make it in that top 10 on my end is going to be Cat Williams. I like his early stuff, his first 2 or 3 things that he did, but after that he kind of fell off a little bit for me.
Man, we're going to get some support for Cat Williams.
I mean,
even if he's like 9 or 10, I think he deserves it.
I mean, I like him whenever he's sitting there talking about smoking it up with Snoop Dogg. And then getting so out there where he's sitting there talking about just looking at the refrigerator, talking about I'm hungry as hell. I bet there ain't nothing in there.
Yeah.
That's funny stuff. Some of the other stuff he says is funny, but I don't remember a lot of his stuff, so therefore he's not.
Pet Chronicles was so good.
That's the one where he's out there sweating like hell.
Yeah. He comes out and he plays that Rick every day. I'm hustling. And that's what he opens the show to is that song. Yeah. Man, he's funny. Cat Williams is really funny. And like he's got all his kids and some of his kids comedy where they put his kid on Ritalin and his kid runs. He's like, from the minute he gets up to the time he goes to bed, he runs. And the school called him and said, they want you to take him to the doctor and put him on some medicine. And he's like, he does it like the medicine hit him at one time. Bam! He's like, he just running and fell right in the hallway. He sits there for like 2 or 3 hours. He's like, for the first couple hours, it was cool. I was like, I was getting some stuff done. He's like, this is nice. And then I started worrying about him. He goes like, man, you all right? And he's like, I'm being good like you wanted. And he's like, all right. He's like, well, man, what are you doing? He's like, I'm sitting here. He's like, what are you thinking about? And the kid's like, running.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, man, Cat Williams is up here. He really is to me. He's come on really, and he's been a bit. Pam Chronicles coming. Man, I know there's so many people from like the 50s, 60s, 70s that we're probably really missing. A lot of old people might say somebody like Sammy Davis Jr., but like they couldn't say stuff back then that they say now. Well,
and that's the
in
thing.
some aspects they could, but like I'm gonna take all those people like that out. I think we've got a pretty solid list of people.
And, that's something about Red Fox. A lot of his shit. It was back then. It was all good and new, and him cussing, and that was his thing, cussing like hell on stage. Yeah. Can you think of a Red Fox joke that you know of? I can't.
I'm not going to say them. Yes, I can.
Actually. I can't think of any from him. But somebody else that we can go ahead and cross off, and this is going to hurt, is Shane Gillis. I like him, but is he a top 10 guy?
I know I've seen him, but I'd have to see him to know who he was.
He looks a little like he's got Down syndrome, and he talks, and nothing against Down syndrome people at all, but he even jokes about it. He says that he has some Down syndrome people in his family, and he makes some really funny jokes about his cousin or something that has Down syndrome, and he's always making these sandwiches, and said that they went out to go eat with his family, and he said he looked over at his cousin, and he pulls out a sandwich from his jacket pocket.
So with that, if he does have some kind of like that, like I said, I ain't got a problem with it. But because he does, that gives him if he's doing jokes and stuff, that gives him an edge.
Yeah.
Like some of the jokes that he might, like I can't do the same jokes that he's doing.
That's right.
Because I don't have a condition like that to compare it to, or like where it's, it's just, that's with comedy, a thing is like you cannot, comedy is basically making fun of people. That's kind of what comedy is. Not all of it, but a lot of it is. And you have to be careful who you offend or how you offend them. And like I hate that it's like that, because like I'm such a live and let live person. Like Chris didn't know about Wayne Brady.
What? Oh, that he's a what was it, a pansexual or something like that?
He's pansexual.
Yeah, that's a whole new thing to me. I mean, good for him. I mean, good for him. Shit, if that's what he's wanting to do.
So if you guys don't know what that is, that means pretty much anything goes.
Oh yeah.
It's not what their gender is or should be or used to be or currently is. It's whatever, like they're attracted to the person.
Its definition is an attraction to people of any gender or to people regardless of their gender. So it doesn't matter if you got a thing or not, or whatever. He's wanting it. He's liking you.
I
He's
can't
like,
hang out with Wayne Brady. I'm glad that I know that. Because if I was
Billy Bob Thornton.
Is he a comedian?
Does he stand up?
I would put Dennis Leary in there before him, but he's not top 10.
Yeah.
But if I was like one of those things that Wayne Brady was, and I hung around me, I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?"
So you think he's gonna come after you?
Yeah, like there's some pansexual person be like, just because somebody's pansexual don't automatically mean they want you. Like, probably does. It probably does. Yeah, that's oh no,
dude.
Wayne Brady, why Wayne? Why Wayne Brady? Why? Like, and I don't care. Like, as long as he's not. That's just funny. Like, being into anything, like nothing's off the table. And at first, I'm glad Chris looked up the definition of the word, because I actually didn't. I thought it went like it was like whatever attracts you, like. It didn't have to be a person. Like, don't send me over to Wayne Brady's house ever. Don't let Star,
no.
Star, you pretty. You got you nice and muscular.
I mean, I guess it could mean that. But
I know it don't. Nah, Chris looked up because I really didn't know. I'd heard it before, and if Wayne Brady, if you're not one of those, I deeply apologize. But I've heard that a lot of times, so I'm pretty sure it's true.
I thought he was married.
Man, I'll ask.
Wayne Brady, is he not married?
Man, I don't really want to ask my phone because I don't want the ads that come along with asking.
You gonna get that weird algorithm?
Is Wayne Brady pansexual? Wayne Brady comes out as pansexual. Exclusivepeople.com.
Okay,
whatever. Wayne Brady.
What's this person say?
I'm definitely not hanging out with Wayne Brady ever.
The last one.
Down syndrome.
There's one more. Oh yeah, do what you want. Leave the kids alone. Yep, that 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like,
I don't care what you want to do.
And like with the man with altering kids and stuff. This is my opinion on it, and I know this is kind of a political thing, but my opinion is not. I'm not looking at it from a political point of view.
You're a father.
Well, no, I'm like this is more as a human being, honestly.
Right.
So because they're letting these kids, and we're getting off topic, we'll get right back. But they're letting these kids, they're giving them stuff that hormones or whatever at when they're teenagers.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you take your 14 or 15-year-old kid to the liquor store, and get a bottle of Jack Daniels and bring them back to the privacy of your own home and let them drink and feel like how they want to feel from alcohol?
No.
You'll go to jail for that.
That's right. I mean, you can, but you'll go to jail for it.
For just alcohol.
Yeah.
That's it's going to go through your system. It's going to get out of your system.
Yeah.
Okay. but it's okay to give them something that's going to completely alter their very being,
Yeah, I don't
their
agree
way
with
of
that.
thinking, their
Yeah.
their body makeup, their chemical makeup. Like, it's illegal to give them alcohol. And I agree with that. Hell, most people shouldn't be allowed to have alcohol. I can name names all. Like, we might have to do a show like people that shouldn't drink.
Oh yeah.
In the history, I can sit here for 3 or 4 hours. But yeah,
Yeah.
like that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm not a big altering person either, especially not with kids at all. And to each his own though. Well, it's whatever. I think that everybody, you are naturally beautiful. You don't need to alter yourself to make your appearance, seem better to other people. Because 9 times out of 10, if it's me looking at you, I think you're going to look better with no work done. No, well, we'll say 99% of the time. But anyways,
I know that the kids may feel that way or whatever, but I'm just saying, okay, you feel that way. When a kid's 14, I'm like, I want to go in the army. Okay, when you turn 18, you can go in the army. Or when you get old enough, okay, when you get old enough, you can do this.
that's right.
When you've matured,
That's right.
that takes a lot of. I think that would solve a lot of problems. That's just my opinion. We're going to get away from that.
Well,
like, we can get into that, but
I'll say one more thing really, really fast. Whenever I was a young person in school, the ugly girls in school, whatever you want to say is ugly, those girls ended up being the hotter girls later in life. So stay away from doing so much to your body. But back to this list. I guess, who is that? Joan.
I've seen all the girls for their interview also.
Good. You should.
All the girls are beautiful.
Every last one of them I've ever met. I love them all. Every one of you.
She's beautiful.
And if Wayne Brady was here, he'd say he loves, all the panties. Is that what they call them, the panties?
I don't know. That's messed up. Wayne Brady.
Oh my God.
If he was my friend, Chris, if you come out and say, because when I first, actually, I was like, hey, I didn't like your reaction when I first told you that, because I think you went, interesting. I was like, whoa, man, like I was just telling you, like, I was expecting you to go, what the hell is that? Or like you look it up, like, interesting. It's like, no, it's not interesting at all. It's kind of creepy. Like I said, to each their own, but
Yeah.
there might be something that I'm willing to do with a woman that maybe Wayne Brady might think is gross or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not into Wayne Brady stuff, but all right.
All right.
So we're gonna get serious. Some people have got to get cut from the list here.
Kevin Hart, take him off.
Kevin Hart, you stole Bernie Mac's jokes. His movies are hilarious. He's a great personality and stuff. But
Him and The Rock.
and he even, I think, did he host the Oscars? Kevin Hart, I think he did.
I think he did.
No, he didn't. He was going to, but then he didn't for something like a protest or something.
Oh.
But then he did like an apology tour for not doing it.
No. Well, him with The Rock, Kevin Hart with The Rock, that is funny stuff, man. That's comedy gold, especially those like the little clips that they put out with the reels and stuff. Some of that stuff's really good, but do I think he's a top 10 stand-up guy? Not top 10. He's really good. He would be in a top 15 or 20 maybe, but not the top 10. And this is greatest of all time in our opinions.
All right, so I think we're going to go down, but I really think we need to we need to start at the top and work now. Like that going from 10 to 1 is not going to work.
Okay, well, I know.
It's going to cause people to get snubbed that shouldn't.
All right,
I feel like.
Let's just, and it doesn't have to get written down in the way that the number 1 to 10, but let's put Ralphie May on there. I think he needs to make top 10. He's a top 10 best comedian, and we only had him for a few years.
Where would we put him?
He's going to be towards
Let's
the
circle him. We know he's going on the list.
Okay,
I agree with that. Ralphie May, because he did and man, if you go on Netflix or YouTube, there's a lot of videos of Ralphie May.
Oh, he starts talking about the size of his junk and how women that have that he's like, do you want something that's like 12 or 14 inches long? He's like punching you in the uterus. He's like, or do you want my little 5 inch?
Yeah, he's hilarious, and well, plus like his comedy, man, he could really walk the racial line with his comedy and still be funny, and not really be racist, but
Just funny.
yeah, he's just pointing out the truth, and
Yeah.
like you know, the,
When he talks about putting
the best comedy is the truth.
when he talks about putting that talcum powder on his junk before he's exercising, he's like,
Yeah.
you got these little talcum powder pancakes that's falling down after he's been working out. Dude, that's hilarious, man.
Yeah, like Joey Diaz, who's funny. I've seen Joey Diaz. He's not a top 10. He's funny, hilarious.
Yeah.
Him to hear him tell some of the stories about hanging out with Ralphie May is like them dudes partied
Yeah.
like big time. All right, so like who would you put at your number one?
My number one, oh man.
This is supposed to be like the dramatic end moment, but like I think we really need to work now.
There's two of them on the list for me that I would have at number one. And the first one's going to be Jerry. He's the first one I named off. I think he's the best. And the next one for me, neck and neck, is George Carlin. I think those are the two best comedians to ever walk the face of the earth.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they're the best.
I would put Dave Chappelle ahead of both of them.
Oh man.
His stand-ups are funny, and like
All right.
just the stuff he's done in the last 4 or 5 years since his comeback, and like the fact like this is how funny Dave Chappelle is. I could talk about. I think I told you, man. He had 3 episodes left of Chappelle Show. Walked because it was so much more successful than they ever believed, and they already had a contract. He still walked away from $50 million. I can believe it was $50 million he walked away from. 3 more episodes and went on like a several years, 6 or 7 year hiatus, and
with
was doing
Africa
random
stuff.
shows and just doing whatever. And then comes back and was like, "Hey Netflix, let me get a stand up." And they're like, "Absolutely, you're Dave Chappelle."
Yeah.
Like, where have you been? He's like, "I'm in Africa, and out in the West, out in Seattle and stuff."
Yeah.
So he living at my house in Ohio. I've just been chilling, but I'm back. And he does a stand up. If you guys ever seen it, and he exposes how Comedy Central did him dirty, and asked people not to watch his show anymore, to the point where Comedy Central was like, "Hey man, we got you. Hey,
Yeah.
why didn't you say something?
Yeah.
We're just gonna give it to you anyway." More or less, like they give him his money,
Yeah.
like that right there, and it was a lot of money, a lot that he collected because of the royalties from Chappelle's
Yeah,
show and all
yeah.
that. It still gets showed on TV. and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. It's still one of the best skit shows out there.
The best, I think. I don't think there's anything that could. Those skits are the funniest.
But I think what you got to think about with the stand up being the best comedians, the stand up comedian. You think he's better than Carlin?
Yeah.
Not for his TV show now, for his stand up.
Yeah,
Man.
he's even, and he can hit you harder with the comedy jokes than even like Rodney Dangerfield. Like I promise, Chappelle can hit you with jokes fast too. Like he can tell a story, or he can one line. I think he's got a little bit of everything in his bag.
I like Dave Chappelle too. I'm definitely not bashing him at all. He's one of my favorites. And the Chappelle Show, like we said, that's absolutely the best skit show.
If I was sitting down to write some jokes, I would, and I was like, he's one of the people I'd be like, how would Chappelle look at this? He's one of the people that I would, I'm not into ever stealing somebody else's jokes, but I would always be like, how would Dave Chappelle look at this joke? Because I just like his way of looking at things is hilarious, and I think he and I are pretty close to the same age too.
Right.
So that may have a lot to do with it.
But so Jerry Seinfeld had a show on Netflix called Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. He had his favorite comedians were on the show with him. And there was an episode with Dave Chappelle on there, and they're sitting in this little coffee shop, and Dave's steadily smoking his vape pen, sitting there talking to him. But Dave was more or less asking Jerry what he thought about this or that joke that he did, getting his opinion on it. So, he's asking Jerry's opinion. What do you think about this? How would you go about this joke? And all of those comedians that's on Jerry's show, they're all like that towards him. They're like, because Kevin Hart was on there and he was like, oh, so if I tell this like this and I use this ending, he's like, what do you think about that? And Jerry was like, well, if it was me, he's like, I would do it this way at the end to keep the audience, doing what, to keep them engaged or whatever. So they all ask him his opinion. So that's kind of.
What about Eddie Murphy?
So top 5 for me.
Or Robin Williams?
See, Robin Williams is good. I don't think I would put Robin Williams in my top 5. My top 5 is going to be, for me, would be Carlin, Jerry, Dave Chappelle for sure. Those are going to be my top 3 choices for 1, 2, and 3. Not necessarily.
Let me pick my 3. I'm gonna say definitely Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Man. Eddie Murphy and Robin Williams, I would say.
Ooh, okay.
Like I think that's my top 3.
All right.
Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams.
All right, so here's
Robin Williams is funny.
Here's what I'll give you on there. We both picked Dave Chappelle in our top, so let's put him at number 1.
We're gonna put Chappelle as the GOAT.
Let's do Chappelle as the GOAT.
Okay, he's in the number 1.
I can't put Eddie Murphy in number 2 because Eddie Murphy, as good as he was, he only had a couple of top-notch stand-ups, and the first one was the best one, Delirious. That was the best one. Now
He had a lot of good movies too.
He did have a lot of good movies. He did, but if we're talking stand-up, he's not my favorite in the stand-up. He wouldn't make a number 2 for me.
Him and Nick Nolte were really good together in 48 Hours. And Trading Places.
Oh, that's one of my favorite. One of my favorite movies. That's an all-time one of my favorites. I love that.
Winthrop and Mortimer.
I can walk. I got legs.
When he's had jacuzzi, so he's like, what?
I don't do that. He was like, oh, yeah, if we want to bubbles in the tub, we had to fart in the tub.
Billy Ray Valentine.
Yeah, Billy Ray Valentine.
That was his name. Yes, that was a good movie. All right, so you want to put... If it was my own personal list, I wouldn't put him, but I'm cool with putting George Carlin at number 2.
I'll take Carlin
unless you want to put Seinfeld ahead of him. But stand up, and I've been talking TV show, Seinfeld. Stand up, I ain't never really seen much TV show with George Carlin. I've only seen his stand up, and he rips it. He's good.
Oh yeah, put Carlin for number 2 then.
Okay.
But in some stuff I've seen with Jerry, a documentary that they had with him in it, they had him in the streets. It was a set, but it was like the streets of New York, and he used to write all of his jokes on the yellow legal pads. And dude, it was covered from one side of the street down the road in jokes that he had written.
Wow.
Jerry's the man. If you did any research on him, you would see that everybody respects Jerry's game in that.
Yeah, I've definitely I'll drop down and give him a top 5.
All right.
We'll put him at number 5.
Let's put him number 5.
Okay. And like I said, I don't really like his comedy that much. The show, I liked it. I thought Kramer was the funniest person on this actual show.
Right.
For that character. But
I'll give you that.
Just because of what I've heard, like I said, I have heard too many big comedians give Jerry Seinfeld mad props. So those are, if anybody can speak on it, it's those people. Number 3 and 4.
Man.
You said you wouldn't put Robin Williams in your top.
Maybe not my top 5. He's good. He was really good.
He had a lot of movies and stuff too. Maybe right behind Seinfeld with Robin Williams.
I like him at number 6. For one of the all-time greats, Richard Pryor, he was hilarious, man. Whenever he talked about himself catching himself on fire.
If there's no Richard Pryor, there's no Eddie Murphy. Without Richard Pryor, there's no Eddie Murphy.
I agree. I agree.
But Eddie is kind of like Kobe and Jordan. Like, he come along and took Richard Pryor's the way he did it to a whole nother level. Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy did. So it's like, do you want to pick the one that started it or the one that took his, kind of spun off of his style a little bit? Because they were good friends. And,
Yeah.
man, I didn't know until his wife wrote the book about Richard Pryor. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, you didn't know? You
Uh-uh.
don't know?
Uh-uh.
Richard Pryor was good.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Hey, good for him.
I
mean,
love
you-
watching, and-
You kind of think about it a
I
little
mean,
bit.
I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I don't judge people, but like a lot of people don't know that. But, and I don't know 100% if it's true, but I believe his wife said it. And apparently, like, people after he passed away, people were like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think Sam Kinnison's going to make the list,
For the top 10.
a top 10 list. He's good and I like him.
Yeah, he's funny, but yeah, he's probably not a top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
He's maybe in the top 25, and really, if we expand it out, he may not make that. He was funny though.
Yeah.
Would you, like, out of Bill Burr and Ralphie May, who would you put ahead of them two?
Man. I would probably go with Bill Burr. I think I like Bill Burr a little better. But Ralphie May was quick. He was witty with his stuff, man. That's a tough one. I like both of them a lot. I don't know if Ralphie May is. I don't know if he's good enough to be in the top 5. I think Bill Burr might be a little funnier than him.
All right, so we'll go back. Out of respect, we'll put Richard Pryor at number 3.
All right, I like Pryor there.
Because another thing with Richard Pryor, I feel like without Richard Pryor, we might not have Eddie Murphy. We might not have Chris Rock.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comedians that we might not have if it wasn't for Richard Pryor.
Yeah. So we're looking at number 4. Number 1, we got Chappelle. 2, we got George Carlin. 3, we got Richard Pryor. And then for number 5, we got Jerry Seinfeld. And 6 at Robin
We
Williams.
just need to fill in our number 4.
Number 4.
Man, as far as stand up, and he owned a stand up club, and his one liners, he could go. You wouldn't want to go joke for joke with him because he could go for hours.
Rodney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
could be a number 4.
I mean, how many residencies did he do in Vegas and stuff? I wonder.
Oh, God. Probably a lot.
How many comedy albums did he sell? And got to think when he was big.
Yeah.
But personally, I would say he's in the top 10, and I don't have a problem with him at number 4.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield. He said he didn't get no respect, and we put him at number 4.
Well, there you go, Rodney. You got a little bit of respect. And he'd be like, well, why didn't you put me in number 2 or 3?
Yeah.
All right.
Chris and Pete made a list of top comedians. I come in 4th. Same as with my wife.
So I think maybe at number 8 or so, I think we should put Roseanne on there.
Yeah, because if you watch her early stand up, it's pretty much the Roseanne show.
Yeah.
It seemed like I even remember seeing early stand up of her before the Roseanne show, and some of the jokes she was telling, like, "Hey man, they made an episode out of this joke."
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a big TV show.
Maybe even later. She can go 9 or 10 even, but I think Roseanne needs to be on the list at 10 because, we don't have many women on the list at all anyways, and I think out of the ones that we talked about, she's the best.
Man, I hope we're not disrespecting any women comedians that we're forgetting, comedians that we're forgetting about by putting Roseanne ahead of the other women. Because I don't know if she's the all-time funniest stand-up comedian, but I'm just not thinking of anybody else. And
It's tough with the women.
Roseanne had a big impact.
There are more really good female comedians right now than there's ever been because I see them on reels all the time. I mean, there's some really funny girls out there, but I just don't know their names. Like Rodney Dangerfield, they just don't get the respect, and so therefore we don't know who they are. So,
Yeah.
but no disrespect to anybody.
Right.
If we're not if we can't come up with enough female names.
And just because, out of respect to people that it's happened to, whatever is true or not true, like, man, Dr. Huskell's got to get. He's got to get scratched. I can't like.
All right.
I don't. If he didn't do the things that he's home.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's not in prison. He got out somehow. I don't, like for
Yeah.
health reasons or something.
Did he?
He's not in jail.
We can take him
Like,
off.
he was supposed to do like 20 or 30 years. Like,
Yeah.
he was old. He was like 80 something.
Yeah.
He was older than Biden and them.
It's probably gonna cost him more to keep him
Yeah,
in
like
jail.
I just like, man, as funny as he was, and man, Eddie Murphy's funnier making fun of Bill Cosby, calling him.
That's true.
You cannot say. But yeah, sorry, Bill. You would probably be in the top 10 if you wouldn't have done the things you did. Bill,
Yeah, he was really that
nasty,
one stand up he did was
nasty Jello pop.
yeah,
Nasty Bill.
Yeah.
I don't like you. Yeah, that's not cool, Bill.
All right, so we got number 7, 8, 9, and 10. No, Roseanne's going on there.
Of all these people, there's 4 spots.
Yeah.
There's so many people.
I think that Bill Burr should be on the list. He is hilarious, man. But
I do too.
I also think that Norm Macdonald should be on there. He is one of my. I mean, he's at the top of my list. He's right underneath Carlin and Seinfeld for me. But not everybody feels that way. He's very, very dry. But one of my favorites, man. He had some funny jokes.
We got 4 spots left, and we don't have Eddie Murphy on there or Chris Rock on there.
Yeah, both of them need to be on there too.
They kind of have to. Like, who would you put ahead out of them two?
Probably Eddie. And I like Chris Rock.
And Bigger and Blacker is a fun. Yeah, man. Delirious was like, when I was around that age, the funniest things I experienced in my life was Delirious, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That was some of the, that was, of course I watched funny stuff before then, but that was the first real, that's when I first started understanding what comedy was. And,
Yeah.
How to, I don't know, so.
Well, throw Eddie at number 7.
Eddie.
Eddie at 7. I will take Chris Rock next over Cat Williams.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think Chris Rock I think he's better at stand up than Cat Williams is. Not that Cat's bad. He's good.
even putting Chris Rock at number 8 is, man, he's funny.
He is.
Wow, some of his old stuff is so funny. He's just, ooh, man, he's good. He can relate with people so well. But I've always heard that Chris Rock has a really good ghostwriter that's never exposed herself.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
But he's still got to stand up there and his voice and his
persona,
the way he can project himself. Like, he's still got to deliver those jokes.
Yeah,
that's the art in it.
Yeah,
anybody. Well, I was gonna say anybody can write a joke, not necessarily, but it's one thing to write a joke, but to be able to stand up and deliver that joke.
Different
skill.
ballgame.
Oh, different ballgame.
Different skill. It's like being a songwriter. Some people can write great songs, and some people can perform them better. But so I
write the songs that make the whole world sing.
No,
who said that?
I have no. I write the songs that make the whole world sing.
I write the songs that make the whole world sing.
Who is that? I don't know.
You don't know?
No, not. Who is
really?
It? The whole world sing.
I guess I could give you his initials. BM.
BM.
Yeah. He's a legend, dude. Wow.
Barry Manilow?
Yes.
It took me a second.
What was some other Barry Manilow songs?
Oh, God. If you know any, you know more than me.
Oh, man. Barry Manilow. I wish we could play music so bad on here. We would definitely jam to a Barry Manilow song.
I wish we could, too. But the last two, like I said, I think we got number 10 with Roseanne.
Okay, we're gonna put Roseanne in there, and you know what? Maybe on like this is episode number 5. Maybe on like episode number 51 or something, we may revisit a top 10, and Roseanne might get bumped for another woman. A lot of people might say the girl was it Gilda Radner from
Oh,
Saturday Night Live.
yeah.
Like I don't know how funny she was doing stand up.
I
Like
don't
I
either.
never seen it,
I don't either.
so I can't put her up there. Like I can only go by the people that I saw.
I mean, we could talk. We could do a whole episode about the SNL casts over the years and the movies that those people had, and you know, do a whole thing on those because I mean, SNL's put out some huge names.
It was bowel movements. What are you talking about?
What? I don't know.
Oh, I think you're quoting Rodney Dangerfield. I think.
Oh,
I had to read the comment above it.
but the number 9 though, out of what we have on there, I think would you do Rodney Dangerfield or Jim Carrey?
We have Rodney Dangerfield. At
Oh, he's
4.
already up there. Okay, then Jim Carrey or Ralphie.
Oh man, we're leaving Red Fox off.
Like I said, you can't have all the old time legends on there. We gotta pick some other people. Because I know you're a big fan of.
Well, okay, the people that are successful now, and have been since Red Fox, they did have the advantage of social media, but that's not their fault.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess is Red Fox? He's gone, right? He passed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Red, I'd put you in top 10, bro. Like, but it's just not like. They're just tough people you're up against, Red. I'm sorry. Like you know how I feel, Red.
I mean, I like Red too, and the jokes from Red Skelton, you know, but I don't think half the people that's even going to watch this is going to.
Oh,
know
we have
who
one
he
spot
is.
left, so either Ralphie May, Bill Burr, somebody's gonna bite the dust right
Oh
now.
my God, that's right. We didn't put Bill Burr on there either.
Bernie Mac's not on there. A lot of people would be like, "That's blasphemy." He's got to be on there, but like, yeah, like Bob Saget, like, but my man, as funny as Bob Saget was, Ralphie May was funnier than Bob Saget.
Yeah,
Stand up.
yeah.
He
Bob
really
Saget's his stuff was.
He was
good.
he was funny, but it was overly dirty,
Yeah,
and Ralphie May's just funnier.
yeah. Bob Saget's late stuff before he passed away,
Yeah.
was good, and it wasn't quite as dirty, you know. But it was. I don't. Maybe it was kind of dirty still, but either way, that number 9 spot's going to be tough, man. Because I like Bill Burr. He's one of my favorites. Ralphie May, super good.
The Philly rant is epic.
From Bill Burr.
It made Bill Burr.
Yeah.
It's epic. Like it's like wow. You know, if you're not a Bill Burr fan, it kind of like the fact that he was standing up for Don Rickles.
Yeah, and that's huge too. Which, you know, Rickles didn't make the top 10 list, but, you know, he's a legend for sure, man.
The only thing about Bill Burr is, as funny as he is, like with a quantity, I don't know if he necessarily has the all-time funny that even Ralphie May does.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's funny, but like his body of work is because he does a podcast where however many days a week he does it. All he does, he don't have a guest on there. He just turns on the camera and is like, rah, buy some eggs, and he just goes off. And that's what he does, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I like
he don't
about him.
plan it or anything. Like he just gets up, probably takes a few puffs and gets his coffee and goes.
Talks about what pisses him off.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't like it, he's talking about it.
Yeah, but you know, but I hear you on that with the, is he as funny as Ralphie May? The ones that I'm having trouble with are Bill Burr, Ralphie May, Norm Macdonald. Those are the ones that I'm having the biggest trouble with right now. Bill Burr, Ralphie May, Norm Macdonald.
One comedy show. This is your last comedy show. Bill Burr, Ralphie May, Norman.
If this my last comedy show that I'm ever gonna see, for me, I'm probably choosing Norm out of those three.
I'm going to see Ralphie May player.
All right.
Like, man, it's really close out of him and Bill Burr. And but joke for joke, I think Ralphie May is funnier.
All right,
Joke.
I'll take that because I really like Ralphie May
And
too.
a lot of people probably may not put Ralphie May in the top 10. Like, it's everybody's. Everybody has a specific preference, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, so let's see here.
Probably had
Red Fox got snubbed.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald got snubbed. Sam Kinison, Red Skelton. I mean, he's an all-time comedian. Like there probably wouldn't be stand-up comedy without Red Skelton. It's almost disrespectful that we didn't put him on there.
I know.
Cat, man. Like, I would put you in my top 10. Like, there's a two-way vote here. Cat Williams, I'd have had you in the top 10. Like, please don't go no podcast. You ain't got nothing on me, but Cat Williams got a thing for going after your career. Cat,
if you want to
I don't want to be on that. Like, I don't know. You know what? If he wants to bring me up, go ahead, Cat.
Yeah,
I can take the smoke.
That's right. Bring us on your podcast, Cat. We'll come out there and check you out.
5'3" and 130 pounds. You ain't saying shit. It's gonna bother me that bad.
Yeah. But Bernie Mac, he didn't make it. And he is one of the greats, but he didn't make this list tonight.
Man, one thing I didn't like about Bernie Mac's comedy, honestly, like I could take him out of the top 10. He did talk about he's pretty talking about doing some violent stuff towards kids, and I know it was all comedy, and like I don't think he was really like that. But
Yeah.
man, when you're watching a comedian do an hour-and-a-half show, and like after the 7th or 8th time, he's talking about smacking the kids because I smacked the kid because I don't give a shit. You know,
yeah.
Like damn, dude, quit smacking them kids, man.
yeah. You know.
Bernie Mac, the best is when he calls. He's like, I'll go home whenever the hell I. He's like, man, you need to call. You need to call home. He's like, hey. He's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll be home when I get home. He's like, there better be some food on the table when I get there. He goes out. He's like, tell your mama I called.
Yeah. He's
But
good.
yeah, like I hate the Wanda Sykes. Man, Roseanne's funnier than Wanda Sykes, I think. Man, I'd have to really. And like
Wanda's good though.
Ellen, I've seen Ellen stand up. Like,
and if anybody's watching, and y'all can think of other people that we didn't name off on here, leave some comments.
yeah, list off a few female comedians. We might revisit this and do a. Like, I like watching comedy. I'll go sit and watch some female comedians.
Oh, I will too. I know there's that one girl. She looks like she's of like an Indian descent, kinda. She's really dark skinned,
Yeah, I've
dark
seen
hair. Fairly good looking woman, and she is hilarious, man. I cannot think of her name, and I couldn't find it whenever I was trying to just search.
Like Jeff Foxworthy, man, him and all the blue collar comedy. Them guys were funny, but all time, like they're not in the top 10. I still think.
You know,
Man, like You Might Be a Redneck was freaking hilarious.
oh yeah,
Like so many things but I mean, how many times can you hear that? You know,
yeah.
they pretty much hit on everything that you could be a redneck can do, from like every stereotype possible, redneck stereotype possible. It's been said.
Oh yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure it's all been said. So Jim Carrey, like one of the funniest things I ever seen him say on stand up. Like, I know he was funny because his expressions, he's so expressive, but like the funniest thing, he's like the shittiest thing about being successful is when you're in bed with 3 women and the least attractive one's like, save it for me. It's like, that's funny. To me, that's pretty funny. Well, I don't know if it's true. Like, for Jim Carrey's sake, I hope that joke was based on a real life. I would never, like a real life thing. I would never tell like my jokes that are based on real life stuff, but
Yeah.
sometimes they are
Yeah.
real life experiences or an altered version of a real life experience.
So Greg put up, it was Mindy something. He put a comment up. That's that girl I was talking about. She's really funny. Yeah, it's on there.
Oh.
Whatever, I can't think
Maybe
of
like
it.
Mindy Mean or something like
Yeah,
that.
he put it up.
Me.
Touch it. How do I get it up there? There's the last comment there. Yep, Mindy Kalig.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, she is pretty funny.
Yeah.
She's got some work to do to get into the top 10 comedians.
All right.
She's funny. Like I'll give her that, but
So
top 10.
she wrote for The Office.
Yeah, she's got some work to do.
All right. So, well, our top 10 though.
So yeah, let's revisit it. Number 10.
Yep, number 10 was Roseanne, and that could change if we did another one in a month or
Any
so.
of these could change.
And number 9 is Ralphie May. Then number 8 is Chris Rock. Number 7, Eddie Murphy. Number 6 is Robin Williams. 5, Jerry Seinfeld. Rodney Dangerfield. Richard Pryor. Number 2 is George Carlin. And number 1, which we both agreed on, was Dave Chappelle. And I say that a lot of Dave Chappelle, for me, is because of the Chappelle Show. That was the best sketch comedy show, sitting next to SNL and what was the other one called, Mad TV.
Yeah.
I think Chappelle was the best at that.
It's an old. He's so young. It's called Killing Them Softly.
Oh,
Dave
yeah.
Chappelle, guys, highly recommend it. If you're bored, you got some time to kill, go watch Killing Them Softly. It is funny.
Yeah, very.
Dave Chappelle's really funny. Like now, me personally, if I could change this list, I'm taking Seinfeld off. His stand up to me, his TV show, great. His stand up,
right.
I'm taking him off. I'm probably going to add Cat Williams, and I'm going to take George Carlin off, and probably add Red Fox. I think
Wow. Okay.
maybe something there like that's like, or move George Carlin down. Like I'm probably definitely bumping Seinfeld off.
All right. Roseanne could easily be bumped off the
Yeah,
list.
she might have to go for somebody too.
I would probably trade Roseanne for Norm
Or
and
Bill Burr. They're funnier than she is.
yeah, and I would have taken Jerry and I would have put him at the top with George Carlin sitting at number 2. And I probably would have put Dave Chappelle down the list a little bit, but he still would have been on there 100%. And I don't know.
I think the surprise of the day would be Rodney Dangerfield getting some respect at number 4.
Yeah.
Man, it's top 10 all time, Rodney. I know he's not here today, but you're like, hey, it's not so bad.
There's my respect. But I think that's a pretty good top 10
I'm not
comedians.
even in my wife's top 4. What are you talking about? Yeah.
That'd be something he'd say.
So who you guys' favorite comedians? Like, who's your go-to? Like, honestly, the last couple years, I've watched a lot of Ralphie May.
Yeah.
I like to watch his videos. Some of his jokes are so funny.
Yeah.
I will go back and watch the old ones too.
Recently, what's his name, Shane Gillis. I've watched a couple of his things on Netflix. They're good. He's really funny. But his whole show isn't the best. I have watched one that I've only watched about 30 minutes of and turned off. So you can't say that you've done that with Delirious. When you're sitting down watching that, you're gonna watch the whole thing and you're gonna laugh the whole time. Drop the ice cream on the ground.
Yeah, you dropped your ice cream. Man, wow. Eddie Murphy Delirious. I think that is probably the funniest comedy show ever recorded.
Yeah.
It's really hard to top that one. Hey, boy. Eddie Murphy. With
Mr. T.
Yeah, the Mr. T jokes and ooh man, that
the roast of Bob Saget was spectacular.
I actually haven't seen that roast.
Oh my God, dude, that was hilarious, man. Jeff Ross gets up there and he says all the same stuff that Bob would have said at his on his stand up, about what he did to the cast members and this and that. If you haven't saw the roast of Bob Saget,
if you have never seen Bob Saget do stand up, he's really raw. Like I know my daughter would absolutely have Bob Saget on her top 10.
Yeah.
and she's younger.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. That's cool. So
he was really good. Man, Don Rickles got Martin. We didn't even bring, but
Martin was good at stand up, man. I'm surprised he didn't make that top 10.
yeah, he's close. Like, I don't know who I would take off of there. Like he might, Martin might edge Ralphie May out. I mean, now that I think about it, Martin's funny.
It'd be tough. The Martin and Chris Rock.
And he had the funny TV show to back it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of times those people like that, and I'm sure Seinfeld was like this. The episodes of his show was based on jokes that he had done years before, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
That's to me. That's where you're when you're looking at these all-time top stand-up comedians, when they take a joke that they do on stage and they can turn it into a TV series, use it on a TV show as a story for a 30-minute episode that's freaking hysterically funny. That's comedy gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I I have to give wasn't Seinfeld's TV show like the biggest TV show ever or something?
It was one of them. You know, they quit a little early. I think they had 9 seasons.
It was better than Cheers, way better than Friends.
I agree.
Miles better than Friends.
I'm a Friends fan, but I think Seinfeld was better. I mean, but then again, I think Frasier was better than Friends.
I didn't like Friends. I didn't like Marcel.
Like Little Monkey now?
No.
Come on,
He ain't never doing it. Run by the camera one time. My monkey can do that all day long and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
Just show a scene of him running by.
Yeah, that's
all they ever showed him do.
Yeah, that and sitting on the shoulder. You know.
I've never seen him on the shoulder.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never watched that many episodes.
Yeah.
Man, you know me tell you one of the reasons I never really like Friends? The girls are overrated.
I knew you were going to say that.
Jennifer Aniston, man, GQ magazine or somebody a few years ago, voted her the hottest woman alive. I was like, no, she's not.
You know,
she's not even close.
She's good looking though. You know, for her age, she's never had.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say she's I didn't say she's hideous or anything, but
you know, she's never had any children. You know,
I'm man, let me think.
Jennifer, if you're watching,
I would say Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas is better looking than Jennifer Aniston.
No.
She's got a better body.
I don't agree with you.
She's got a better body. She's Fergalicious.
Fergalicious in the face doesn't do it for me.
I'm just saying she got a better body than Jennifer Aniston.
I don't know, man. Jennifer Aniston had a really nice body, but you know that
she can't. Jennifer Aniston can't give you a lap dance like Fergie can.
Hey man, did you ever see? Wasn't it like Vacation?
No, it was where they go into Mexico. And it's not that good. She's wearing them granny panties. Like, why you got granny panties on, Jennifer?
That was like RV or something like that. Because they were traveling. They were doing the
He had to go pick that up for Brad from El Chapo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. She was a stripper.
Kitty, get out of that cop pulls him over. Kitty, come here.
Dude, whenever the spider bit that kid on his thing. Oh God,
yeah,
dude.
And the other two girls, I never thought Courtney Cox was all that.
When she first came in, I thought she was attractive, but she didn't do it for me.
She's never really done anything for me. And the other girl,
Lisa Kudrow,
whatever.
She's
like a 5.
Yeah, she wasn't all that. The best looking one I thought was Jennifer Aniston, and then followed by Courtney Cox. But you know, Friends was popular.
The guys on there, they were kind of funny, but
nerds.
Yeah,
super nerds, man.
Dorks.
That was a time frame whenever it was cool to be like that. Whenever that show come out in the 90s, you know, it was cool to wear the tight rolled pants.
See, I'm a little bit older than you.
Yeah,
and I was a little bit older then.
Yeah, that's why you don't like it.
No, wait a minute, hold on. I was cool then.
Okay.
And they wasn't cool.
Yeah.
I was cool. I was cool. But to me, they wasn't cool.
All right.
My way was way cooler than their way.
Yeah.
That's just the way I have to look at life that way.
You know, they were all, clean cut, clean shaven.
So was I.
And, they like I said, they were nerds, man. And,
I wasn't a nerd.
No, not you. I'm talking about them.
Minus the nerdness.
But Friends was a good show, but I think Seinfeld was better. Frasier was better. And in all honesty, I'm a big How I Met Your Mother fan, and I think that they were better than Friends. But if you watch both of them, How I Met Your Mother took a lot of stuff from Friends. They also took a lot of stuff from Seinfeld. But that's just how it goes. Nobody can think of anything that's very original these days. So, they got to go back and hit the greats.
We'll have to do some other top tens. We'll have to do TV shows.
Mm.
Oh, man. Movies, we might have to break it up into categories of movies.
Yeah, it had a pretty good list right there.
What's that?
Greg had a pretty good, he put up his little, I think it was like a little top 5 he just put up on there. It says Chappelle, McDonald, Carlin, Burr, C.K., Pryor, Murphy, Sandler, Seinfeld, and Ralphie.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
No, those are some good ones.
That's a good list.
Yeah, I like that one.
Let's see.
Louis C.K. was good.
We can do some movies. Like, there's so many movies, so we may have to break that down to like a time frame or something like that. I don't know how we'll do that.
Yeah.
Or actors and actresses.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost, you got to do it in categories almost.
If we did top 10 the hottest actresses, I will freaking walk out the room if Jennifer Aniston is in the top 10.
In a top 10?
Yeah, I don't know on TV.
For one, I bet you couldn't guess who my top number one famous woman for looks is. And she's been in a fair amount of stuff. She's never been this huge superstar, but she is smoking even today. I think she's in her 50s today, and
the girl that played Peg Bundy.
No.
Am I close?
No.
Like I figure I was like I'm gonna go off the wall here with this.
Like, I mean, Peg wasn't bad. When she got fixed up,
she was way hotter than out.
She was.
Like she'd be wearing some slutty stuff around the house, like ow. Like
I know he'd come home all bummed out.
Yeah, like
no, but mine is Salma Hayek.
Who is? I know who that.
Oh man, she was one of the vampires in From Dusk Till Dawn. She was in Desperate. She was the girlfriend.
Vampire movies, Chris.
She was the girlfriend in Desperado.
What? Selma Hayek? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Pictures of Selma Hayek.
Here are some images of Salma Hayek from the web. Have a look.
I'm going to. How's that?
Have a look. Look. If you're gonna look at one, let me pull up the one.
She's better looking than Jennifer Aniston for sure.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. What was the name of that movie with Antonio Desperado?
Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell's daughter.
Look,
what's her name? The blonde girl. The girl that played in Almost Famous, Penny Lane. Kate Hudson. Ooh.
Oh, Kate Hudson, yeah.
Ooh, no.
she's very, very attractive woman as well. But we should save those and we should do one at a later date.
But well, use this like people I would pick way above. I would take Gabrielle Union, Dwayne Wade's wife, the one that was in Bad Boys with Martin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would take her.
Okay, but I know I don't think you're much of a fan these days, but your girl used to be what's her name? Alyssa Milano?
She's changed.
Yeah.
She grows hair under her arms and stuff now. What she did, it posted a picture of it on Instagram. My daughter's name Melissa. Like, yeah, I had to think for her since Who's the Boss. I really did.
That's right, Who's the Boss, yeah.
Like,
I know that was your number.
She tweeted me happy birthday one time.
I remember. She said that she had like 1,000 little Tweety birds come and tell her it was your birthday. Yeah. So she decided to tell you happy birthday. I know that shit probably made you... Your head's already big, but I'm sure it made your head that much bigger.
Yeah, I was with my kid's mom then. I was like, Alyssa Milano said it was okay if we wanted to mess around.
I'm leaving right now.
No, Alyssa, like I told her, like, if you want to mess around, Alyssa told me, Alyssa Milano said it was okay.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not, like, I grew away from her. Like, man, and I liked her so much when we were kids that I even, like, I knew when I was like, if I ever have a daughter, I'm going to name her Alyssa.
All right.
And
she's very, very good looking. All of her life.
Alyssa said one time, she goes, yeah, Dad, I was checking out Alyssa Milano. She went and looked or something because I told her that's where I got the name from.
Yeah.
And she went and looked. She's like, Dad, you named me after a whore.
Oh.
I was like, listen, I didn't know how she was going to turn out.
Yeah,
She said it jokingly.
Yeah, well, All right. Well, we got anything else we're going to talk about today?
No, that should wrap it up. This has been a pretty fun Monday. Wow, what a Monday. I got a thing at 6:30 tonight. I still got, it's Monday. I do monkey cages. I was right in the middle of that. I still got to finish that. But this has been super fun. Guys, tell us your all-time top 10 favorite comedians. Again, we have Dave Chappelle, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Rodney Dangerfield, Jerry Seinfeld, Robert Williams, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Ralphie May, and Roseanne.
That Marissa Tomei is what Gregory put up there for one of his favorites, and I have to agree. She still is very beautiful to this day.
Yeah.
And the smoky eyes, oh God, like from Seinfeld, whenever she was on there back in the day, that was George's girlfriend for a minute.
What?
Yeah, Marissa Tomei.
On Seinfeld? I've never seen those.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that was in some of the, probably maybe midway through or towards the end.
That don't even make sense for him to be with her.
No,
Costanza.
Costanza, because the thing was that Elaine told him, they were like, oh, Marissa Tomei likes short, fat, bald guys, and he was like, well, that's me. He's like, you got to get me a meeting, and it was really funny. You should go back and check those out. But this one was a good one. I like talking about the comedians, and again, give us your top on there, and any of the ladies especially that are watching that are your favorite women comedians. Let us know.
Yeah, I don't know the women.
Huh?
I don't know. I can't. I'm just drawing a blank on a lot of women comedians for some reason today.
Yeah, they'll come around. But y'all send them out. We'll check them out.
Yeah, maybe the men are just funnier. That's what Chris was saying when we was talking about. I was like, we gotta have some girls, and Chris was like, the girls ain't really that funny.
Look,
that's what Chris said.
Everybody watching this knows that that's a lie. I'm all about the women. So,
well, I wasn't talking about ugly girls in school. I said all the girls were pretty.
At some point, everybody looks a little funny in school, but the ones that weren't the most pretty, I'm not saying ugly, if they weren't the most pretty,
not everybody,
a lot of them, they ended up being smoking hot later in life because they got talked to down in school, so-and-so.
We're going to have to do an episode, and I'm going to run you through the history of Pete from the time I was a little kid and fill you in on all the things that I started.
All right.
Like all the way back to when I was a real little kid. Remember how now some people go to McDonald's when they're a kid and they'll put their fries on their cheeseburger?
Oh yeah. So you invented it?
Started that.
All right.
I started that. Like I said, we'll do the history of Pete and all the things I started. All right, guys, this has been super fun. Hope everybody has a great week. We will be back on Friday between 1 and 2. This will be up on Facebook tomorrow. But leave some comments. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a good time with this. This was definitely a fun subject. Yeah. I'm going to be watching. It's supposed to be raining here the next couple of days, so I'm probably going to find myself watching something I like. I'm going to hold on to this list of all these names because I'm going to go and watch some videos of them, even like the 4-minute clips. So I'm just going to kind of go through.
Those are the good ones.
Yeah, I'm even going to go back and watch some Red Skelton so I can remember those jokes.
Well,
all right.
On the last note there, take care of your mental health, everybody.
Yep. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you guys on Friday.
See ya.